Okay, so I don't really know where this is gonna take me, so we'll just start from first day here and first impressions. So my first impression of Florence is it's it's a very powerful, moving city, which is also why I learned why they have David as the main statue. But it's a city that to me is unlike, well, of course it's unlike anything I've ever seen, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Like compared to Rome when I went last year, it was just completely different. Um, and when I came here into the apartment, I was excited to be here because not only is it Florence, but this is the first time being on my own. Seems how I live with my parents, so I haven't really had the freedom of being on my own and being able to survive on my own. Because like a test to myself and a little towards my parents too to see, maybe he can do it for himself. Um, so when I got here, I was excited to see my roommates. They were all a bunch of kids from the East Coast, so I was like, whatever. Um, and they were always talking about how much parties and stuff and all the clubs we're gonna go to, and I was like, hell yeah! I mean, I'm underage, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be in the club yet. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do this. And then over these past few weeks, I have learned to hate every single one of them because they're all um, frat boys, and I hate that because all they do is drink and they drink to get drunk and they do it every night. And I've had a couple of nights restless because they are up screaming and yelling and breaking dishes in the kitchen. So that's definitely helped me learn something. It's I'd say it's made me a little more mature in a sense, but that's enough of that. Um, so back to the city of Florence. The art here and the history here is just it's way easier to focus, especially since you're here for 6 weeks, compared to when I was in Italy last year for like a week. But I find it way easier to focus on things, especially since we have a class now. And honestly, I don't really like art that much at all. But being here and being in the art history class has shown me a lot of pictures I've seen before, but haven't really taken thought on any of them. I haven't really cared for that much. But now that I've seen them in person, it really changes your perspective, and I see art a lot differently now than I did before. But I still hate modern art. I hate that stuff. It's pointless. But the Renaissance art is just it's something else. It's like nothing really you can compare to it because it's moving. Like you see how the artists like Da Vinci, Botticelli, um, Masaccio, and Michelangelo, how they've all put beautiful pieces of art together, whether it be sculptures made of marble, made of bronze, paintings, reliefs, even just like their sketches are just amazing to me, and the unfinished things are just like, wow, that's really something. And I think it's crazy compared to how nowadays is with art because people want to feel glory and justified for the work they've done as soon as possible. And they don't take their time like the artist did here. Of course, I mean, there wasn't really, of course, there was a rush, but they didn't have all the other distractions of internet and social media and TV and having to keep up with the news all the time. Back then, if it took 4 years to get done, it took 4 years to get done. But that's gonna be the best looking piece of art you're gonna see coming out of 4 years, and that's what went through their heads, and that's kind of what I hate about like nowadays with art. It's just you have to have instant glorification for it. So the ideas behind it are just weird, and they don't end up looking good. And the way the pictures, the way they like draw your attention and make you feel what's happening with them is just. I think it's amazing because I mean I know I couldn't paint anything that good even if I did have 4 years. Not happening. So yeah, that's probably enough with the art. The people here are definitely prideful people. They're It's kind of hard to explain how, but I mean, I'm sure you understand, Kiara. But they're just a really prideful people here, and I think it's cool. I mean, I believe the whole country of Italy is a whole bunch of prideful people that all hate each other. This seems how I'm from the South, and everybody from the North hates the Southerners, but it's okay. I'll represent my states. And the people are very. They kind of walk with their nose held up high, because thinking that they're like better than everybody else. But their city, let them do what they want, right? I mean, when I'm in Phoenix, I walk the same way. It's my city, but I just think, and the atmosphere from the people too is crazy. Like 12 o'clock here versus 12 o'clock at home, two completely different times. 12 o'clock at home, like most people are in bed, getting ready for work the next day, and just settling down. But here, at 12 o'clock at night, it's nothing. Everybody's still out. Little kids are still out with their parents doing shopping. Not shopping, but getting gelato and whatnot. And the stores are always open real late. And I think it's really cool. But, I mean, of course, it's going to set like a real high standard for me when I get back to Arizona. And I'm going to be like, oh, okay, time to go out at 3 in the morning. All right, nobody's out anymore. I think that's cool. I really like that. And especially since I've had the freedom here without, being on a chain for my parents. And with the Italian class, I have learned enough. I haven't used enough. Of course, I've learned enough, and it's kind of hard. But it's definitely lit a flame underneath my ass, which I've been needing for years. My parents and grandparents have always been like, oh, when are you going to learn Italian? Well, now I can say I come back, I've learned Italian, just enough to get by, but I'm definitely going to come back speaking like a mix of English, Italian, and it's gonna sound choppy, but I really like the idea of that because I'll be able to continue to learn phrases and things I need to say day after day, and I'll be able to say it in Italian because I'll just look it up in the book, or I mean, if I have to look it up online, or ask my grandparents, just regular phrases, and then I can start incorporating that in with everyday things, and then eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to speak good enough Italian that I'm not going to have to need to speak English anymore. But of course, I mean, we're going to be in America, I'll be speaking English too. But I really did need the push, and you helped give that to me, so I really appreciate that. And that's about all I can think of for right now. So, oh, last thing with the making the friends from Arizona. I became friends with people here that I didn't think I was going to be friends with. But I mean, of course, when you're thrown into a situation when you're all a bunch of people on your lonesome, you kind of have to make friends. But I have made friends with my sister's roommates, and I'm really glad I did because without them here, then I'd probably be stuck with my terrible roommates I have here, and I'd probably be a drunk bastard all the time, and I probably wouldn't be able to see all the things and do all the things that we have done together because they're just all over the place. But I'm really glad I did get to meet the people in our group, and yeah, and I'm glad to have you as a teacher, Kiara. Thank you.